What did I say? Watch I don't catch you. Realize what's coming at you. Coming at you. I am his Trey. Coming at you. Step aside. I am the Rorschach Master.
How do we win more gunfights on Battlefield 6? So, first of all, you've got to know your weapon and what the attachments do to that weapon. So, I've got a gun with reasonably high recoil and reasonably, well, I'd say very high bloom actually. And bloom is bullet spread, how many bullets miss the target at longer ranges and when you're moving back and forth. So I've got this gun set up to be really accurate when it's standing still. And if you move from side to side, you will miss a lot more shots. And that's because of the grip and other attachments I have on the weapon. And if you go on here and have a quick look, attachments like this vertical grip reduce accuracy while aiming down sights, and that will increase the bloom or the bullet spread of your weapon. So if you're moving a lot, you might want to switch to a grip that doesn't have that nerf, so to speak, to your movement accuracy. So let's get back into the training, and as you can see, if you peek a corner like so, you can then mount that corner, and when you mount that corner, you've got extremely good accuracy and reduced bullet spread. So you've got the corner peek there, and if you come up to a countertop, you can actually peek over the countertop and mount immediately, taking down any sort of enemy that will be taking that flag. Gives you great advantage at mid to long ranges. When people get up close, it becomes a little more difficult, so I'd probably run a green laser. So you could do things like that at hip fire sort of ranges. Not so good at that sort of range, but good enough. You can always put a better green laser on than the one I've got here as well. I just don't have it unlocked for this weapon. So just to recap, learn to peek and mount, whether it's countertop or corner, and you will get a lot more kills while being less visible to the opponent as well, because as you can see, if I'm mounted here, it's better than being standing. You're a lot less visible when you're peeking and mounting on corners. So now we've got that out the way, what I want to go over next is you still don't want to be this target in this area the entire time. People are going to flank you, so I'd set traps or watch your flanks, get a teammate to watch your flanks, and every now and again after you get a couple of kills, move to a slightly different location that has fixed cover, and you'll be able to continue this for a couple of times before you get swarmed. I play a lot of breakthrough, and this can help affect the line that's coming against you, the enemy front line. So you can split people up, create gaps, and then you can go in, rush the flag, and get another fixed location further upfield, as if you're a football player. Before I go over the next playstyle, I just want to go over the movement system quickly and how it can benefit you in your gameplay. The first thing I want to go over is the slide. And you're going to generally be using this to slide up behind cover, preferably cover you can mount over and get a kill like so. You can also use it to slide through a doorway, catch people off guard, slide past someone and get them that way. People are going to start aiming lower once you kill them a couple of times this way, so you can always jump around the corner to add a bit of variety to that gameplay. They don't know if you're going to be low head height or standing head height, so just mix it up as much as you can in that sense. The two other mechanics you're going to be using quite a lot are crouch and prone, and you're going to be using this when you don't have a lot of cover, but you can use the topography of the ground to your advantage. So say if there's a little mound there, you can duck down, reload, stand up, get a kill. You can duck down behind the bigger mound in crouch mode and peek over the top a little bit, and you can pop up. So you're going to be using crouch and prone quite a lot in those open spaces. So just be more careful and be prepared to drop to the ground to save your life, because it absolutely will. The last thing I want to go over in this movement section is the crouch sprint. And if you crouch while sprinting, you'll get this really cool mechanic where you can sprint round in crouch mode, and this makes you quieter. And if you pair it with the Spec Ops perk from the Recon class, you can absolutely sneak up on an objective, get multiple kills without the enemy knowing you're there until it's absolutely too late. Next, I'm going to talk about the Agile Shooter playstyle. And this is going to involve you using your knee slides, your jumps, and all your movement capabilities to push up on objectives and flank the enemy. Now, there's numerous attachments that are going to help with this playstyle compared to the other playstyle I've already showed you. And one of them is the silencer. So I've only got the standard silencer unlocked for this weapon at the moment, but that is good enough to keep you off the minimap. If you have the 10 extra attachment slots, you can use the lightened suppressor. This is going to reduce recoil and build up over sustained fire, and it's going to make you much more accurate, especially when you're moving from location to location, trying to get an advantage on the enemy players. So I've got a grip on this gun set up here, and it's probably the best grip to use at the moment, and that is the ribbed stubby. There's no penalty for using it. You get better accuracy, better ADS, and just generally a bit better mobility. So if you're running a grip, I suggest that one, the slim angled, or the QD grip pod. Now, the QD grip pod might be better for the Fixed Marksman playstyle I showed you earlier. So just keep that in mind. I think I forgot to mention it earlier, but it's definitely one to use because it can improve your mounted accuracy. As for barrels, on this weapon specifically, I've got the heavy barrel because that increases my accuracy the most, my precision to be precise, which is amount of bullet spread that's created by the weapon when moving. So I've got reduced bullet spread, much better accuracy. So that's definitely the best barrel to use for mid-ranges. For the Fixed Marksman playstyle, you might want to go with the extended or the heavy extended, increasing that bullet velocity for those longer ranges. The blue 50 milliwatt laser is probably the best attachment to use to reduce bullet spread or bloom while you're moving. And if I switch to my carbine, which I have it unlocked on, you'll see while I'm moving from side to side, it is super accurate, super accurate. I mean, if I did that with the Fixed Marksman weapon I showed you earlier in the video, I'd miss at least half of my shots. So the blue laser is one of the best attachments in the game, definitely for pushing up to objectives, mid-ranges, or flanking around the side of the opponent and taking out an entire squad. So I definitely be using the blue laser on your ARs, carbines. Maybe not submachine guns and stuff. It might be worth running the green milliwatt laser on the submachine guns, but I'll go over that in the next segment of the video when we go over close quarters combat. Is there anything else in my notes before we move on? Yes, hollow points and synthetics. So hollow points and synthetics are going to increase your head damage. I think they're probably more beneficial on the closer ranged weapons like the carbines and the submachine guns, because you're fighting at these sort of ranges, you can pick out your headshots a little bit easier and get that much quicker kill. So now I've gone over that mid to long range engagements, we're going to talk about the closer range engagements. So I've switched to my submachine gun here to show you close quarter combat to mid-range combat. This is going to be through buildings, right up on the flag close to the enemy. I like running the recon setup because I got the spec ops perk, so if I'm crouching I can be utterly silent. Bearing in mind, crouching will also make you invisible to the motion sensor of other recon players as well, so just remember that. As for suppressors, the CQB suppressor is probably the best all around, just generally for hipfire, if you want to keep your hipfire with the submachine guns high so you can use your movement system and just snake up people from hipfire very, very quickly rather than having the penalty for aiming down sights. The other option is to run the lightened suppressor. This will reduce recoil without reducing your sway. So the long suppressor increases your sway, and you really don't want that. So if you have the attachment space, use the lightened suppressor. Now, the next thing on my list in front of me is the 5mm laser. Now, if you want to keep your hip fire really high and use mobility to its most beneficial, run a green laser and a silencer that doesn't reduce your hip fire spread or accuracy, so to speak. That's going to make, like, you're going to be able to run around the map and just absolutely snake people without aiming in. You could even lose your sight if you wanted to in that case for extra attachment space. But I like to run the blue laser, so I've got a bit of accuracy at ranges while I'm moving. And that way I run a silencer that doesn't reduce my hip fire accuracy. That would be the best for sort of close to mid ranges. You can always add a grip, like a ribbed stubby slim angle grip, or a hand stop if you want to shoot while sprinting. That would be another thing. I might take off my sight and put the hand stop on. That way I can shoot while I'm sprinting without stopping. You can literally run through crowds of people that way if you've got the right weapon set up. So as for barrels, what have I got on here? Yeah, as I thought, run the extended barrel. You want that bullet velocity, especially with the submachine guns. They're normally around 500 bullet velocity anyway. This one's a little lower, but you really want ADS speed, and a little bit bullet velocity will never hurt. So always extend the barrel. As for if you want to run ARs in this, I'd probably run a short barrel if you were going to run an AR. This will just increase your hip fire that little bit more and keep you a little more tactical at those closer ranges. The last little point I want to go over are holopoints and synthetics. I'd probably get rid of my grip and just run holopoints or synthetics. As I said, at these closer ranges, you want to be hitting those headshots, so you want to be, look how quick that was with hollow points on, and if I had synthetics on it'd be even quicker again. So even at those sort of ranges, you can absolutely slay with the accuracy of the submachine gun by aiming straight for the head. With an assault rifle, because of the recoil patterns and the recoil control, I'd probably aim center mass and it's probably going to pop up and hit one of those two headshots for you. So it'd probably be a little more beneficial to run a grip on your assault rifle. But as for carbines and submachine guns, I don't think a grip is needed. I think hollow points or synthetics are going to be much more beneficial at those closer to mid ranges. You have 10 slots for attachments, so choose them wisely. If you want to see some more meta loadouts, so to speak, I'll be doing some very, very soon, just trying to unlock some attachments and get some gameplay of me using those weapons for you. And I'll run some meta loadouts in the next couple of weeks. There is one more playstyle I want to go over before I go, and that is the playstyle of the rat. So I've switched to the shotgun here to show you the playstyle of the rat. You're going to generally use this playstyle to flush people out of buildings that are close to objectives, just creating that overwatch that is killing your team. So you generally could run this with the assault class, use the grenade launchers to bring the buildings down on them, rush in and pick anyone who's injured off with the shotgun, because it's only going to take one hit to an injured enemy. As for other classes, I think the recon class is built for this shotgun because you get the motion sensor, you get C4s so you can lay traps or bring the building down, and you get claymores to cover your flanks. So you can take the people who are camping in the building completely out, and then you can set your traps so they can't get back in. As I said, real ratty playstyle, but it could really benefit you if you can't get the objective because of the enemy overwatch position. Now, as for attachments on the shotgun, you want to be running a 5-round magazine for ADS speed, the ribbed stubby because it has no penalties as we talked about earlier, and the blue laser, believe it or not, instead of the green laser. So as I said earlier, with the blue laser, it reduces your spread while moving, which is hugely beneficial to the shotgun because it has spread anyway. So it has some major spread. So I don't know if they fixed it recently. It does seem so, but it could be the attachments I'm running. So the assault class AR shotgun combo will give you benefit because you can fight at mid ranges. But if you want to be the true rat, use the recon class, C4s, claymores, and the motion sensor to have a permanent UAV up in the building you're camping in, trying to stop the enemy taking that objective. I hope this has helped you guys. If it has, please like and subscribe. It all helps my channel and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll catch you in the next video.